Welcome back to the channel. See, there's a lot of things that I feel very, very passionate about. We currently live in a very divisive day and age where everyone's grouped into these different camps. And as an influencer, I feel like it is my responsibility to acknowledge my influence. I feel like there is a certain sense of responsibility that comes with having so many eyes on you. And that's always made me nervous. Because of this, I've spent my whole career on YouTube avoiding talking about topics like this. But I finally feel like it's time to use my platform for good and to talk about things that really actually matter to me and I think will make America and the greater world better. It's time to grow up. I'm gonna start you off with one short clip, and then I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty, down in the mud details of what we're here to talk about today. Just one short clip to start us off.
Oh my gosh, there's a hair in here.
POV, you found a hair in your food.
I knew this hair got in here, so oh my god. I have to make a new one. It's my hair, so I'm just gonna eat it. You know what, I can't, I have to go make another one.
Now to a lot of you in the audience, that probably seems like a valid course of action. You find a hair in your food and you're disgusted and you want to make a new one. Maybe return it to the kitchen, maybe get a chef to make you a new taco. But to me, it's something different. I've always felt just this deep bubbling darkness and disdain and instant rage every time I see somebody have a reaction like this to a hair in their food. So today I'm just gonna be giving my opinion, my thoughts, and kind of maybe expanding your mind a little bit and telling you why you're wrong and why you're a big blubbering baby. So if you reference the slide here, you see there's the you on the left, potentially, big crying AI baby. It's just what a computer thinks a baby looks like. That's you, crying about the hair in his looks like some sort of ramen. There's me on the right, a whole fucking hamburger, a hair burger, undisturbed, moist, in my lane, in my pond, soaking, sitting on a lily pad. We're very different, you and I, okay? Let me start you off with some hair facts, okay? But actually, before we get into the hair facts, I just really need to just give you an overview, okay? I'm not just gonna be roasting you today. I'm gonna be telling you why it is irrational and stupid to overreact about a hair in your food. And I'm not just here to dunk on you. Okay, I'm gonna give you the method on top of it. So let's start with some hair facts. Your entire body has about 5 million hair follicles. 5 million on your whole body. That's like one of those numbers that, you know, they're like a number you can't even picture. You don't even know what 5 million of something looks like. You can't imagine that. It's a lot of hairs. There's a lot of hairs, okay? 5 million, 100,000 of which are on your head. Now I was curious about this because I thought everybody's a little bit different, right? Everybody's got like some different genetic makeup. Okay, some people are born with like an extra finger. That's weird, really weird. Like everyone's different. And it turns out there's actually different amounts of hairs on different colored haired people. It's normal to shed about 500 to 1,000 hairs a day, although that varies. That's like the normal middle of the range amount, okay? 50 to 100. I don't know what I said before, but it's 50 to 100. Redheads have the least hair, coming in at 80,000 on the top of their ginger domes, okay? I feel like this reflects in their spirit as well. I didn't need to read a study to know this. Brown and black haired people have about 100,000 hairs on their head. Blondes have the most at 120,000 hairs on the top of their noggins. You got 100,000 right on top of your head. That's a lot of hairs, okay? That's a ton of hairs. It's way more than I thought. I thought there'd be maybe 800 hairs. Now when people get disturbed about hair in their food, it's you know, it's usually the same reaction every time. It's like this, oh my god. It's like you just found the chef took a big sloppy shit in your meal. Oh my god. Yuck. Yuck. Do I eat around it? What do I do? Do I pick it out? Do I eat around it? Or do I send it back? Where's my insulin? Okay, that's normally the reaction, which I always found weird, okay? I always found weird. I'm not saying that I go in there and just pluck out the hair and eat it. That's not what I'm saying. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pluck out the hair and eat it. Like, if we go back, I wouldn't actually eat this hair burger. Unless it was for a video and it might be funny. But this was always strange to me because I knew that hair was mostly just made of one simple thing. Keratin. Hair is just made of keratin, okay? It's just like this weird inert thing that grows on top of your head. It doesn't really rot, doesn't decompose very fast. It's these weird little dicks. 100,000 little dicks growing out of your head. You know what I mean? But hair's made out of keratin. Yeah, interesting, right? Keratin is also a protein, which might interest some gym bros watching the video, maybe some other people as well. I thought that was interesting. Keratin is actually a protein. So if we're not grossed out in the hair in our food because it's rotten or toxic, maybe it's because it's inedible? Which even then, that doesn't really make any sense. Is it, you know, is it because it's inedible? Because you can't digest that little human hair? You can't digest the hair off of Hugo's head in the back? He's a felon wearing PJs. He's wearing fucking Cookie Monster PJs. And you're worried about the little hair off of Hugo's head because it's inedible. Hair is made of keratin, which is a protein. Again, I put it in lobster font because it's swirly and whimsical, much like a human hair. And here we actually have like kind of a breakdown. We have a really cool breakdown of a hair, which is very, very interesting. I know what every single one of these things are. Obviously, I've deeply studied this. I'm deeply passionate about this. And hair really is just mostly made up of keratin, which is a protein, but not an edible one. Right? Right? Wrong! They are making usable protein powder out of sheep's wool. Fooled again. Hair is edible under the right circumstances. This is actually being looked into right now. Let's open up. I read this whole thing. I read the whole fucking thing. We have a massive study here with references going over how they are shaving sheep and turning their hair into wool so that you can eat it. Okay? Or you know what I mean. Anyways, huge thing, all references linked. You can look this up for yourself if you want. It's very, very interesting read. Very, very interesting read. And it goes over how they are looking into how to make that protein soluble so that you can actually uptake it in a safe way. How you can get rid of the lipid layer and consume this protein to build bigger penis and fucking bigger muscles and shit. And as an alternative source, you know, protein powder made out of hair. Sheep's got a lot of hair, a lot more than me. We even have a graph here of kind of all of the different methods that they're using. There's tons of different methods, okay? And you're probably wondering, why did all of this come about? Why are you shitting here on YouTube telling me about how you can eat hair and they're trying to make edible hair? Why would you tell me that? You're sick. It's all because I watched a video about how James Corden freaked out about a hair in his fucking food. This little fucking gremlin. He looks like the Baron from Witcher 3. That's the same vibes he gives me, okay? I expect any moment when looking at him to see a little botchling float up from the background. It got me fired up enough to sit here and do this right now and educate you guys and express what I'm talking about. So back to the science, okay? We have wool, you degrease it, you dry it, and then you mill it, okay? You mill it down into fine particles, and then what do you do with the milling? Oh, I don't know. There's all kinds of fucking shit that you can do with the milling. So just in case that this isn't scientific and processed enough for your fucking triangle-shaped brain, they are extracting it through thermal extraction, superheated water hydrolysis. Oh, how about fucking steam explosions? That's crazy. They're exploding hair so that you can fucking eat it, and you're picking it out of your food. First, it's gay frogs. First, it's gay frogs, and now they're exploding hair. There's some guy named fucking Eugene or Simon or Elijah or something. He's in a lab right now. He's looking at a pile of hair and he's fucking exploding it so that you can eat it. Fucking idiot. They're exploding hair. What? You're doing what to the hair? Oh, next thing you know, they're gonna be milking fucking cockroaches for magical crystals. Just kidding, they've been doing that. That's been a thing. Okay, I don't know if you know about cockroach milk. Yeah, we do be milking cockroaches. You can milk them. I've milked a couple myself. It's not illegal to milk a cockroach in the state of Florida. It's not illegal, but it feels illegal. Next thing you know, kids are gonna be eating their fucking textbooks for lunch. There's gonna be some sort of Snowpiercer-esque giant blender that you can throw fucking empty beer cans and Pokemon bulk into and eat a little nutrition brick. There's people right now working out how you can eat hair in the form of protein. And you're sending back your fucking shrimp, your gentrified shrimp taco back to the kitchen because it's got a hair on it. Meanwhile, Elijah's blowing up fucking hair in the lab. That's all I'm saying. Crazy. It's crazy. Next slide. Why you are a bitch. Okay, here we have a Monster Zero Ultra. Okay, everyone's familiar with it. Everyone knows what Monster Zero Ultra looks like. And we have the ingredients in a Monster Zero Ultra. The ingredients: carbonated water, citric acid, erythritol. Also, I included a actual picture of all these ingredients below, just for reference. You know, sometimes it's hard to look at taurine and sodium citrate and pinpoint where that comes from in nature and like, you know, what it looks like. So there's the ingredients with pictures below. Anyways, Monsters is mostly made out of like, you know, white powders and shit that is hard to pronounce. But you'll gladly drink a white Monster, won't you? You might be drinking a couple days. Oh, you might be holding one right now in your sweaty little greasy hand. You're denting the can slightly. Ingredients in human hair. There's a picture of Asmongold. I would like to clarify. I didn't think about when making the slide. I want to clarify that if I found one of, like, I wouldn't eat one of Asmongold's hair. I feel like that's like an exception to my point today. Don't eat one of Asmongold's hair because you probably will get sick. You might get, allegedly, leprosy. You might get the Black Plague. Just use this picture as like, you know, we're not talking about Asmongold hair. Talking about like any other hair, okay? Ingredients in human hair. Ingredients in human hair. Hair. It's just hair. Monster? Hair. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I want to get the more boring kind of like sciencey, nerdy shit in your face before we really got into just me yapping. This is kind of what I'm getting at here. You're sitting there, like, let's put the picture. You're sitting there, you got a big old plate of food in front of you in a restaurant. You're in a restaurant, you're having fun, you're with your family. Happy your fucking dog is his 10th birthday and you're all celebrating. You got a fucking plate of steak in front of you. You got a steak. I love steak. You got a steak right there. Yummy. Yummers even, okay? You got bro's entire shit, like his fucking flesh. You got bro's flesh in front of you and you eat his fucking like his flesh and his fucking forehead and body and toes and shit, and you're perturbed by a single human hair sitting on top of the mashed potatoes, cradling the bovine flesh sitting on your plate. Like, this is him. This was a once operating piece of his body, which is now deliciously prepared sitting on your plate. Next to it's just a big fucking pile of mashed potatoes, but there's a hair on top of it. And that's gross. That's what we're calling gross. You got a tasteless, odorless little hair on your food, and that's gross to you? You'll eat a fucking chicken nugget, bro. But the hair's getting to you? Like, do you think ham just looks like that? Like, what do you think where does it come from? Oh, it's the tube part of the pig. Why don't you tell me where boar's head maple honey glazed ham is located on this pig diagram? Why don't you point to it? Why don't you point to it, Adam? You can show them the pig diagram. Care to tell me where the boar's head maple glazed honey coated ham is? That's actually a bad example. And it's actually located like about there, maybe. I don't actually know. It's probably about there. It's just a really bad example because boar's head is kind of goated and they use like actual cuts. But you know, most deli meat, like it's the guy ground up, steamed and slow cooked into a tube. Like they tubed him. They're gonna, I hope they tube me when I fucking die, dude. I hope they put me in a big tube. They make me into tubular form, a cylindrical form. Think about fucking bologna, bro. Bologna is fucked up. Some mentally ill circles of people may also know it as Devin, but no, fuck you. Actually, fuck you. Bologna is a literal amalgamation of ground up flesh that is formed into the cylindrical meat monument that is a literal affront to fucking God and nature as a whole. Yummy! Oh yeah, inert shaft that you literally can't digest and nobody's has no impact on your health. It's bringing you to your knees. Like, what are we doing here? All right, what are we doing? It's time to grow up. You will eat dick ass and or pussy, but you will not eat a human hair. In fact, you will inconvenience the entire staff and chefs of a restaurant to remake your fucking food just because you have been brainwashed. And literally nothing bothers me more than when somebody acts like so surprised when they find a fucking hair in their gentrified shrimp tacos that they paid $17 for. Whoa! How'd that get? Oh, how did that get there? Maybe it was one of the fucking 50 million hairs that fell off of the 10 people, one of the 10 people that work here. How did that fucking get there? What are the fucking odds, huh? And maybe it was one of the 50 million hairs that are running this place. My grandpa, okay? My grandpa? This is the type of shit my grandpa, this is the type of shit our grandparents were on, bro. Great grandparents for some of you, bro. Look at this. This is the type of shit that you might be on. How to get over finding hair in food. Start by taking a pause to calm down. As unsightly as a stray hair might be, accidentally ingesting a strand hair is not going to cause physical harm. The chances of experiencing some kind of food poisoning from it are pretty much non-existent. I have no friends. Here's what to do if you feel this way. Why are my elbows so ashy? Why do I stand weird? Overwatch Overwatch 3 release date confirmed. Now, I want to be honest to me to put all this forward without talking about the potential negatives of ingesting human hair or it being more particularly in your food. Nobody's literally ever gotten sick off of a hair in their food, reported by the FDA. It's never happened. It has never happened. The FDA has received no reports of people getting ill from ingesting hair in their food. Cope and seethe and shake and fucking shrivel up and evaporate and fucking twirl around like a spin around like a bath bomb in a fucking bathtub. All right, nobody's ever gotten sick from it, so I don't want you to come into the fucking comments talking about it's gross. You get sick. My friend got sick from eating a fucking human hair. He microdoses LSD every day for the last 8 years, and he accidentally ate a human hair, and they had to take his legs. His name was Harry. Yeah, you know, hair can indeed also carry bacteria, microorganisms, tardigrades or whatever those little guys are called, maybe. I don't know, I'm making that one up, but it would be cool to think about them being on your hair. It's like a bunch of little monkeys on like the top of coconut trees swaying around, you know? That's fucking cool. But yeah, there's never been a recorded illness associated to a hair in somebody's food. Hair can carry bacteria. Ooh, what a fucking shocker, dude. What a shocker. Hair can carry bacteria. No way. So can literally anything, actually anything, minus a hand-wrung spool of copper wire that you just stripped from the tiny home development next to the Publix near your house that went bankrupt. That actually cannot carry bacteria, but pretty much everything else can. Now let's talk about the only time that I personally feel like it is acceptable to be a little bitch and throw up a big stink about finding a human hair in your food. So back before I made no square money and when I made $4.91 an hour 2014 money, that no GED money, although never under any circumstances would I partake in this forbidden art, I did hear tell a tiny little tale of a man who used to go to Waffle House a lot. Okay, he used to go to Waffle House and he would only eat there and he would hope and pray that he found a hair on the top of his food, which if you've been to Waffle House, you know is a lot more likely if you go to like Cheddar's or something. You're more likely to find a hair on top of your food at Waffle House. You're also, the odds of being able to buy fentanyl off somebody who works there is also a lot higher. Waffle House really is the land of opportunity and PvP. But he would sit there and hope and pray that he found a hair. He would stumble upon just a hair on top of his Waffle House food. Why, you ask? Well, he would do that so that he could eat half of the food that he had, the fully loaded all the way hash browns, the triple serving of hash browns at Waffle House. He would eat half of it and navigate carefully around this hair sitting on top of the food, saving it for the right moment, just so that he could stumble upon it. And in complete and utter shock that he made it all the way through his triple hash browns all the way without noticing this disgusting human hair on top of his food, he would request to have it remade, effectively getting half of an order of triple hash browns all the way at Waffle House for free. Again, this is speculation and rumors. I have no clue who would do this, but he sounds like an asshole. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on hair in food situation. I just personally feel like it's a really weird thing that everyone like expects just not to happen. Like it's fully expected that it doesn't happen. Meanwhile, every inch of our body is covered in hairs. You know, like it's just irrational. It's a stupid thing. It's a stupid thing, man. Wake up, sheeple. Wake up, sheeple. Pick up the hair burger and show them why you have your father's last name. Yeah, I just feel like it's kind of a big goo goo gaga baby blubbering idiot moment to make a big fuss about a human hair ending up in your food when all the people working combined at the restaurant you're eating at probably have a total of 50 million. How did that get in there? It would just need to grow up. So I hope I didn't make too many of you too upset, but give me your thoughts down below. I can't wait to see how many of you are coping and lying and bringing up adjacent points of people dying due to hair consumption without mentioning the fact that they ate like 30 pounds of it or... Yeah, just can't wait to see all the cope and seething in the comments down below. But change is uncomfortable. And yeah, I just hope you guys liked that little juicy yap. If you want more yaps, if there's anything I think of, I'm just gonna get back on here. And I really don't care if you want more of them. I'm gonna do more of them. Because there's some things that I just can't be silent about. I'm very passionate about and are very important to me. And I feel like I can possibly open up some eyes. So thank you guys for watching. And don't eat human hair. That was me covering my ass in case somebody takes this video the wrong way and some gym bro and goes home and shaves his head and he's like, protein. It's me covering my ass.